Guys, another trailer for Superman just dropped, and what a trailer it is! Lots of action, Ultraman without a mask, a mysterious baby, an insane Lex Luthor, and breathtaking scenes. But it doesn't stop there. There are also some controversial CGI moments in this trailer. Is it good or horrible? Does it look like it's from a PlayStation 2? Is it worse than The Flash? Come on, let's discuss this, and let's dive into a mega analysis of every frame in this trailer. Lex Luthor. If there's one thing that this final trailer made clear, it's that the main villain is none other than Lex Luthor. It's not a kaiju, it's not Ultraman, or any of the other threats that will appear. In fact, all the threats will be sent by Lex Luthor himself to take down Superman and destroy the symbol of heroism that he carries and inspires in people. That's Luthor's biggest goal. And he's willing to do this at any cost, even if it means innocent lives are lost. That's what he said in the trailer.
They chose him, let them die.
Notice this. The film's motto is look up, which basically means you looking up at something high. And if Superman is up there, that wounds Lex Luthor's ego, because in his mind, it's him who should be seen and admired by everyone. He can't stand to see someone above him, and all of this fuels the hatred he has for Superman. While the trailer opens with Superman stopping a building from falling so people can get out from underneath it, Luthor is at the Fortress of Solitude alongside Ultraman engineer and Eve Teschmacher, Lex's girlfriend, trying to learn everything about the Kryptonian and destroy everything there too. One thing we can be sure of, just from the little material we've seen, is that this Lex Luthor is pretty bitter. He's tough, and Nicholas Hoult is killing it in the role. In fact, in the scene at the Fortress of Solitude, he walked calmly toward the fortress's computer while everything is being destroyed. He doesn't even blink when a saw comes right in front of his face. The trailer kicks off with a narration from Lex Luthor vowing to destroy Superman. And he's going to kill the reporter who always interviews him, Lois Lane, and he'll also go after the couple who rescued him that's a baby, indicating that he's also targeting Jonathan and Martha Kent. This Lex Luthor really harbors a lot of hatred for Superman and anyone related to him, even for those who consider him a hero. Ultraman. Still talking about Luthor's invasion of the Fortress of Solitude, besides the engineer who was seen destroying the fortress's robots and fighting Krypto in the previous trailer, there's also Ultraman right in the middle of it all. Ultraman is still that enigmatic being in the story. Although rumors and theories suggest he's a clone of Superman created by Lex Luthor, that's not 100% confirmed yet. But everything really points to him being a Superman clone, and most likely the face behind the mask is that of Superman, played by David Cornsweet. This trailer finally showed Ultraman without the mask and fighting Big Blue, even fighting Heat Vision and battling in what looks to be the rift that opens up in the middle of Metropolis. Despite all that, even with the rumors, theories, and fans being convinced that Ultraman is Superman's clone, the trailer chooses not to reveal his face, only showing that he has hair, so there's still a chance we might be surprised. Or maybe he'll have Superman's face, but with deformities, something like Bizarro, who's also a Superman clone created by Luthor. But one thing's for sure, this battle between Superman and Ultraman is gonna be incredible, and will definitely have some great action scenes. James Gunn recently stated that Ultraman is close to being Lex Luthor's version of Superman. Eve Teschmacher. Now, talking about the other characters with Lex Luthor, I've mentioned the engineer a lot in various videos on this channel, and you can check all that out by clicking the card that's popping up on your screen. So let's explain the other character in the fortress, Eve Teschmacher. She's Lex Luthor's girlfriend and has often been his assistant in various stories. She's the same character who appeared in the previous trailer taking a selfie while Hammer Bravia was destroying a building and fighting Superman. She represents vanity, materialism, greed, superficiality, often embodying those archetypes. In older films, to illustrate this, she always appeared as a chic madame. Whereas now, adapted for today's era, she's portrayed more like a blogger, or one of those shallow types who only cares about money, fame, and mics. I think this fits her character pretty well. James Gunn's critique about this character might imply that she's not necessarily a bad person, but being a shallow person who finds all her desires fulfilled by Lex means she won't mind being on Lex Luthor's side. There was a leak in the past suggesting that she would play a significant role at some point in the story, so let's wait for the movie to see what happens with her character arc. Who is this white alien in the movie? There's a scene in the trailer where Lex Luthor is after this white being, which has also appeared in the behind the scenes video, and everything suggests that he might be another creation of Lex Luthor. A lot of people are theorizing that it could be a white Martian, but James Gunn said it's actually Mr. Handsome, so it could be another creature assigned the role by Lex Luthor, perhaps someone who studies metahumans or something like that. I also saw people theorizing that this creature could be Matrix, who in the comics became Supergirl for a while, but that's a topic for another video.
CGI. Now we arrive at the controversial moment. After starting with Luthor trying every way possible to defeat Superman, the trailer then shows the Man of Steel recovering, and in various action scene sequences we see Superman phasing the kaiju, another threat that will definitely be one of the major challenges for Superman, along with Hammer of Boradia, who should be one of the initial villains for Big Blue. Then we see one of the coolest scenes in the movie, Superman and Krypto together taking on Lex Luthor's soldiers called Raptors. While this scene is awesome, it's become controversial on social media because of the CGI. Is it really that bad? Is it worse than the CGI in The Flash? Honestly, I'm kind of liking the idea. I think it looks cool, but the CGI isn't perfect. Sure, that might raise some alarms for a lot of people, but overall, looking at all the trailers released so far, I wouldn't say all the CGI scenes are bad. It's not something I would say would ruin my experience with the movie, but this particular scene isn't perfect. James Gunn has stated the film is 100% ready, so it's likely that's exactly what we'll see on the big screen. So there's not much room for improvement. I believe the opposite would only happen if this trailer had been edited before the film was completely finished with VFX, so that in the movie, this scene's CGI would be better. But I wouldn't get my hopes up about that. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think it will ruin the movie experience overall, but let's wait and see how it turns out on the big screen. But you can really tell that in the punch scene, there are two dolls. Their faces look a bit rubbery. It's a shame. It raises some concern, especially since we had a terrible experience with that in The Flash. But like I said, the vast majority of other scenes have fantastic CGI. Whether it's in the fortress, buildings falling, kaiju, and various other elements, it looks pretty good. It's just a bit hard to defend a CGI like that when surrounded by really well done CGI. But talking about the battle between Superman and Krypto against the Raptors, this should be something from the third act of the film. These Luthor Corp soldiers are the same ones who beat on Superman when he's locked up in a cell with Metamorpho. And if you pay attention to the details, we have two possibilities here. Either Superman is weakened in this punch scene, or these soldiers have some sort of power boost that allows them to fight on par with Superman. As for Superman ripping out teeth with that punch, I don't think that's exaggerated, it's normal. Being kind isn't synonymous with being peaceful, and Superman is a character who throws down when necessary, so I honestly don't understand the criticism from that angle. And still talking about this scene, I really like seeing Superman and Krypto fighting together. Krypto removes the soldier's helmet for Superman to throw the punch. Dude, that's incredible. Notice how you can even hear the sound of the teeth clashing against the camera lens. And I don't think that's just for laughs. I don't believe it's a fourth wall break, as I don't think it would mesh well with a character like Superman, but maybe this scene is actually someone filming Superman himself. Who knows? It might be Jimmy Olsen, covering this battle and perhaps doing a report about it alongside Lois. He could possibly be using some drone from Mr. Terrific as in the ship, where he's using a Lord Tech laptop, right in the scene where everyone at the Daily Planet is on Mr. Terrific's ship while Lois is piloting it. Just remember that Lord Tech is owned by billionaire Maxwell Lord, who also leaves the Justice Gang team with Hawkgirl and Green Lantern. Also, on the topic of the ship scene, I really like seeing Lois
piloting the T-Craft vehicle. It looked great and feels like something straight out of a comic book pitch. And in this scene, the CGI is also good. I like that a lot. And I'm becoming more curious about what role each Daily Planet reporter will play throughout the film. While the first half of the trailer features Lex's narration full of hatred towards Big Blue, the second half focuses on Superman, rising and confronting each of Luthor's threats, followed by a narration from Superman himself saying that no matter what Luthor does to him, it'll never work. Superman even wishes the villain good luck. And guys, that's just awesome. It's this clash between Lex Luthor and Superman that I want to see. Metropolis. Next up, we have another big mystery in this film, which is this rift would opened right in the middle of Metropolis.
So far, we don't know what it is, but it could be related to the Pocket Universe, where Lex Luthor keeps the metahumans imprisoned. James Gunn has already mentioned that Superman will feature pocket dimensions. This portal could lead to one. Pocket dimensions exist separate from regular space-time. By the way, Peacemaker has a pocket dimension which he accesses in the trailer for Season 2. It's in this moment that we see the scene of Superman and Krypto fighting the Raptors. If we pay attention, apparently this rift has something like a black hole within it, and if that's the case, you can bet it'll be something big happening in the third act of the film, where it's the perfect moment for something grand to go down. Let's theorize a bit. Maybe this scene is interconnected with the other scene where we see Superman holding a baby and in front of him appears to be a black hole. And over there we can see Metamorpho is holding Superman and the baby so they don't fall into the hole. At the same time, there are these elements that are also there. It's a scene showing all a lot, and I would risk theorizing that Superman, Metamorpho, and Mr. Terrific are involved in this scene. Speaking of that baby, he's baby Joey, Metamorpho's son, and it looks like he's gonna be taken by Lex Luthor to use as leverage for Metamorpho to keep Superman locked up in the metahuman prison by creating kryptonite. Also, there's a brief shot where Green Lantern Guy Gardner is challenging Superman, and this should happen around the same time we saw that scene in the first teaser where the Justice Gang is at Stag Industries, and then Guy uses his ring to block the people outside the building from seeing the heroes inside. It seems like Superman and Guy Gardner don't get along too well, which is pretty expected considering Guy Gardner's personality. The big question is whether Superman will end up fighting Green Lantern or not. In the comics, there's a famous scene where a guy gets punched by Batman, but instead have Superman be the one punching Guy. Superman the comedian. The trailer continues with other scenes I just mentioned, and then we see a scene of comedy between Mr. Terrific and Superman, which unfortunately also sparked some controversy online. And I saw some people saying this doesn't suit Superman, or that it's more of a Star-Lord kind of thing than Superman. Guys, this is pretty common. In my view, this scene isn't MCU style, that's what we're suggesting. Not only in the comics, but even in earlier films, there have been scenes where Superman made cheesy jokes. This has been part of the character.
Bad vibrations?
I'm not saying he's a comedian who cracks jokes all the time, and this trailer isn't giving that impression, so there's no need to complain about it. Best scene. I couldn't end this complete analysis without talking about this scene, which, in my opinion, is the best scene in this trailer. Superman using his heat vision like this on the Raptors is sensational, and I don't recall him yet ever used his heat vision like this before. It's epic. In this scene, you can see he's either controlling his power, just like in the punch scene where teeth go flying, or he's still weakened. To me, either option makes sense because he's not killing the Raptors or tearing limbs off with a heat vision. You can tell that for sure. Lastly, you can see that Krypto is also there with Super in this scene, and it seems like this moment is connected to the punch scene. This might be all part of a sequence showcasing Superman and Krypto battling the Raptors. Guys, I really love this trailer. It was definitely missing one that focused more on action. The first teasers focused on Superman and how he'll be affected by Lex Luthor's actions, while the first trailer was much more about Lois Lane's interview about Superman's actions and public opinion regarding that. This last one is totally focused on the rivalry between Lex Luthor and Superman, filled with action scenes. I liked it a lot, and I sincerely hope there aren't any more trailers so they don't spoil too much of the movie. But of course, there'll still be plenty of spots until the film's release, or maybe even a final trailer in the release week. That's something that might happen. But now, I want to know from you, did you like the trailer? Are you excited for the movie? Have you bought your ticket yet? Please write your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to hit that super like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the super bell, because this is the best place for you to stay updated on everything that's happening in the DC Universe and James Gunn's DCU. I'm already working on more videos about Superman, and you won't want to miss it, so subscribe to stay in the loop. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. I'll leave you with 2 video recommendations, and I'm sure you'll enjoy them and get even more pumped up for the movie. I'm signing off now. See you next time.